Behavioral health is as important as ensuring that we keep our bodies in fit condition with exercise, eating right, and plenty of sleep. Our emotional and mental health is just as important. Let's learn a little bit about how behavioral health professionals help us each day in school, in work, and in life.
Hi, I'm Cindy Davis from the Missouri Behavioral Health Council. Before we get started, I wanted to clarify a few things. When we say behavioral health, we're talking not only about mental health diagnosis and treatment, but also the diagnosis and treatment of substance use disorders. Our future leaders must know that behavioral health is vital to our community's health and well-being. We're thrilled that you're here today to learn about a few of the career opportunities available in our part of the healthcare system. The Missouri Behavioral Health Council is made up of 32 behavioral health agencies, and we employ over 15,000 therapists, counselors, case managers, crisis response teams, and so much more. I also want to make sure that you know about 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. People sometimes find themselves struggling. It can happen to any of us. If you find yourself or a friend struggling, 988 is always here. When you call 988, you get free, confidential, compassionate support from a trained crisis counselor. You can also text 988. And if you want to chat with someone online, just go to 988lifeline.org. Now, I'm excited to introduce two essential team members, Rachel Vogelsang and Natalie Walker from Compass Health Network.
Hi, my name is Rachel Vogelsang. I am a school-based community support specialist with Compass Health Network. I have been with Compass for about 2.5 years now. I decided to go into behavioral health when I was in high school. I just always felt the drive to help people, and I know there's so many things that people deal with on a day-to-day basis that they need extra support with. I decided to continue that with going to school to get my associate's degree in general transfer studies, and then I moved to my bachelor's degree in psychology and got a minor in sociology. And now I'm actually going to get my master's degree in school counseling and mental health counseling because Compass offers a continued education where you get some reimbursements to continue your education to better yourself. And you can also do this job by having a specialized associate's degree or a combination of education and experience. There's not really a typical day in this field, but it is fun being on your toes for like every day. You have a schedule, might not always go as planned, but you're still doing your job and what the families need. So that's what's nice is you're always available to step in when there's a crisis or if they need extra support that day. Some days I go to the high school to work with kids on how to help communicate with their parents or how to work with their depression symptoms or anxiety with school. And then the next day I could go to the elementary school to help with emotional regulation skills and helping them be more aware with their emotions. And then the next day I could be at a parent's house talking with parenting strategies on how to better help them with their children. There are some days I do respond to crisis calls. I can get a call from the school district or I can get a call from a family if they're in need. This kind of looks like doing an assessment to see where their levels are at and what I can do to help support them. Oftentimes we create a safety plan to make sure they have things that they can use to help distract themselves when these arise, ways that they can recognize when it's happening, people that they can call and places that they can go to get them through the tough period that they're dealing with. There have been quite a few success stories working with the individuals. It's really nice to see them with their families and coming together as a unit rather than having them constantly butting heads, and also them using like coping skills to help with their regulation and watching them like manage their anxiety and their depression and not letting it consume them. I'm so glad that I chose this field. It's been a great starting out position. I feel like I've learned a lot and I've gained a lot of experience working with people and seeing their success, and I really enjoy all the things that I've learned.
Hi, my name is Natalie Walker. I am the Director of Behavioral Health Housing for Compass Health in the Central Region. I've been at Compass for about 15 years. I decided to get into behavioral health because probably around the age of 14, I worked with some very young ladies. It was my first job, and it was at a group home. There was this young lady who really stuck out to me, and her family were struggling, and I was only 14, but I remember myself and a close friend of mine, we had a field trip. I think it was Six Flags or something like that. My friend and I raised money so that she was able to go on the trip. And so being able to see that smile and be impactful at a very young age, I realized that I wanted to do that long term. One of the things that I've really enjoyed about working with Compass is that they really see the individual. And although in those probably 2 years that I was promoted from a mental health specialist to a case manager, them being able to see the drive in me and them being able to see the desire that I had to help people actually helped me. It empowered me in a way. A typical day for me is one of the great things about this job is that there is really no typical day. Every day is a surprise. And so there's some days that I walk in and I'm immediately problem solving. There's some days that I walk in and there may be a crisis. And I know that word sounds scary, but when you have the skills to handle the problem, it's not that scary. And so I'm dealing with crises. There's times where there's meetings that takes place most of the day, but the enjoyment that I have is the direct interaction with clients. And so being able to sometimes take a day out and teach a group, or sometimes being able to do one-on-one with clients is really what fulfills me. To walk in and be greeted by clients or people who are smiling that were not smiling before, or who have skills and they're proud to show me their work that they've done. Those are probably like the best gifts for me. There really are gifts. They're presents, to be able to help empower somebody, to be able to be an inspiration to someone, to be able to be a partner in someone's journey. It's so rewarding. So let me tell you about a client that I've worked with. I oversee a program called Clustered, and this program helps people who are already living in their own homes, and we provide services to them, and we have an office inside of their apartment complex. And we did a informational where we invited all of the tenants in the apartment complex to come down and learn about our program, learn about Compass Health. And we had a young lady who came in there and very eager to learn about the services that we had. At the time, she had no services. And so we were able to get her to the Compass Health office to get an intake. She was able to see a psychiatrist that day, and she was able to get medications that day as well. And so being able to just help somebody instantly like that, and it doesn't happen all the time, but being able to see that and now see her daily taking meds, I'm stronger than ever and happy to be a part of Compass. I really enjoy being in this field. I know that I make a difference. I enjoy the work that I do. I plan on being here. I'm excited to see how I grow and develop in this field. And so I'm really excited to see where life takes me in the field of behavioral health.
Thank you for listening in today. We hope you reach out to your teachers, counselors, or to me at the Missouri Behavioral Health Council if you find yourself interested in a career in behavioral health. Thanks again.
And now joining us live is Rachel Vogelsang and Natalie Walker with Community Support Specialist Behavioral Health at Compass. Welcome, Rachel and Natalie, to Healthcare Career Day.
Hi, I'm Rachel Vogelsang. I'm the School-Based Community Support Specialist.
Good morning. My name is Natalie Walker. I am the Director of Behavioral Health Housing for Compass Health.
Well, if Rachel and Natalie, if you want to just kind of go into a little bit about what you do, how you do it, and then we'll start getting some questions and send them over to you.
Okay. I work with children from ages 5 to 18. So I go to the schools and I do interventions with the kids. This could look like playing different games and different activities to just help them with the problems that they're experiencing and to gain some more social skills and things like that. And I also work with parents on parenting strategies and do a lot of collaboration with members in the school district.
And as I stated, my name is Natalie Walker. I'm the Director of Behavioral Health Housing for Compass Health. I work with adults 18 and over. I oversee several programs. My programs are residential programs. They're inpatient, basically meaning that the clients live or reside in our facilities temporarily. One of my programs is a 30 to 90-day program. Another one of my programs is a 2-year program. And then the cluster program, the program that I kind of talked about in the video, those clients live in their apartment. And that program is a kind of like a transitional program. So the goal is for them to be on there for about 6 months.
Fantastic. So we're getting a couple questions. Let's see. Mrs. Southard's class submitted, why is behavioral health important in schools? Good question.
It's important in schools because school can be very stressful, not only like academically, but also with your peer relationships. So having someone that's available to you to help you deal with the difficult things that you're experiencing can make or break your school experience.
And I would also agree with Rachel. I think that society is, our young adults, you guys are privy to so much more things than we were as young kids. You have social media, you have just the pressure of being a student, you have the pressure of being a perfect child, you have all these different things that I think that adults sometimes forget that you guys go through. And so being able to have somebody that you can talk to support you on those things and those difficult challenges that you have, and having it at school, which is a safe place, is also beneficial.
Yeah, in fact, we just had a student ask, one of the questions they asked from Antioch Middle School, does your mental health decline when you hear all the bad things happening to people in the world?
I think self-care is very important because you can only help people so much if you're not helping yourself. And there are challenging days that it gets hard to hear some of the situations that people are going through. But at the same time, it's nice to know that you're a person that's helping them get through that. And then you get to go back and see them the next time and see the progress that they've made and the success that they're feeling.
You know, I know from my own personal experience, when I get too much news feeds coming in and it's a bad week out there in the world, it starts to weigh on me a little bit. And I think a little bit more about different people in different places around the world. And, I sometimes have to moderate that a little bit and say, I'm going to stay off the news feed for today and just focus on me, focus on my work, focus on family. So good point. A couple other questions coming in. One of the students asked, how hard is it to work with parents if you do not have kids yourself? That's a good question.
That is a great question because that's my experience. I don't have my own children. I do try to avoid mentioning that, but it does come up. But they are pretty receptive. And I think knowing that I am younger and have my education background, that they respect my opinions and that some of the strategies, when they see them working, they're more open to listening and hearing me out and seeing like, oh, wow, she does kind of know what she's talking about. And these things are working for us. And we can see our family having a healthier dynamic.
And just to touch on that a little bit. So until my age, I'm only 43. And as I stated, I work with adults. When I got into the field, I was 25. I was finishing my bachelor's degree. So there's a lot of times that I have clients who are older than me. A lot of our staff, our floor staff, who are techs. You can come in straight out of high school. So to be a tech, you don't have to have a bachelor's degree. You can come in at 18. And those techs kind of help our clients with their activities of daily living. And those are things like reminders to brush your teeth, the reminders to take a shower. Because when people deal with depression or sometimes even anxiety, those things that we typically do on a daily basis, we kind of forget about. And so our techs kind of provide those supports to our clients impatient. And our techs can be 18. And that can be challenging as an 18-year-old saying to a 40-something-year-old, hey, you got to take a bath today. However, these clients, they become appreciative towards someone who is caring for them because that's what we do in this field. If you're a person who enjoys if you're that friend that everybody calls to talk to you, to help them solve your problem, you would probably be a great person to be in this field. Because as one of the ladies stated in, I think, Mosaic, I think that was the name of the organization, listening is one of the biggest jobs that we do. Being able to actively listen and being able to hear what people are saying and being empathetic and compassionate at the same time. And so I think, not having kids, not necessarily being age level, and sometimes not even education. When we're in the business of caring for each other, your heart and your compassion kind of shows, and that's what matters the most.
Fantastic. Great words of insight to these young people who are trying to figure out if this is a good career pathway. We had another question come in, and I think we're going to try and go live with a few questions. Spencer, high school healthcare student asks, let's see, are internships offered in behavioral health?
Yes, they are actually. I know I have a couple internships that, or interns that work in my area right now. And I think it just depends on like how you reach out and things like that. And we also do have tuition reimbursement for school as well, and a scholarship program.
And one of the great things about Compass is while I was working towards getting my master's, I actually did my intern through Compass. And so I was actually able to start a couple programs through Compass just by getting in there, using my intern, using my skills, and Compass was able to help me with that. So there's lots of opportunities for internships in different areas at Compass.
Fantastic. You know, that's the best way. I think internships, they tell you if you're good for it or if it's not the right path for you, and then you can switch up, go into a different internship, go into a different career path. So great words of wisdom. Well, any parting shots that you have for the students today as we zoom on out to our next healthcare provider?
I would just like to remind you guys about 988. If you guys are dealing with things and need someone to talk to or feeling hopeless or worried or just need someone to talk to, please remember that 988 number is available. There's also the internet. What is it? 988
Lifeline.org, I think.
988lifeline.org. So if you guys need someone to talk to, remember that number is there. And if you know someone who needs someone to talk to, remind them about that number.
Fantastic. And thank you for bringing that number 988 out so we know what we need to do if we're text or call when we're in crisis or see somebody in crisis. So thank you.